So hello guys, so in the last video we could not register user because my application, not everyone's application, had not migrated because I was downloading the app with a database that was way behind and I had not even updated it, so I had not made migration. So you see, after I made migrations and then I could create the user, so that basically means that our application is working, so and this function is working. So in this video I'll be showing you how we can register user. So you just copy that, and then inside your application here, just before the export default, you want to make at least a variable that will be storing this query for you, so this mutation query for you. So and then you just call it just register, then something like query. So and then it's okay, let me just import one thing first. So import, so you need to import GQL from GraphQL tag. So you import it from GraphQL tag. So this will allow you to write GraphQL queries. So and then you just say register query, which so it's already here. You just prefix with GQL, and then I think you can just see them. They are just below your escape key there, and then just create the query over there. And then let me at least format these to look nicer, so at least you see it's the same thing, but now we want to be able to send this query to our application. So I realized one thing that I want to correct. So guys, I'm really sorry about that, but this has to be Apollo provider. So you go inside Apollo client over here, this provider has to be Apollo provider. So we are registering Apollo provider, so bring this Apollo provider into main up here and then just register it over here as Apollo provider. So that is what we are importing. So if you don't do that and you leave it with the provider previously, for some reason could not work. I guess I was following a certain tutorial for some time back and I thought that it was just a variable, but I guess it has to be Apollo provider. So do that and then come back over here. So I'm really sorry for that. So here in the handler, we want to call this query. So with the Apollo client being set, then we can access something called this. So this actually means, I think I should not explain that because I know. So it allows you to access something called Apollo inside here. So this Apollo will take in several values. So it's Apollo client, so it takes in mutation, subscriptions and queries, but in this case we are making an Apollo mutation request. So you just say dot mutation Apollo dot mutation dot mutate, actually not dot mutation, it's Apollo dot mutate or Apollo dot query. I mean what you want to do. So it's Apollo dot mutate and then it takes in an object. So the object has the first thing defining the mutation you want to do, mutation. So what mutation do you want to do, which in our case the mutation is registration query. So this is the mutation query we are trying to pass. And then the second is an object of the variable. So you call it just variables, and then you take it, you pass in the data. So this data is our variables because it has to be an object and we know that ours is an object. So and then the second one is an update, which is a callback kind of thing. So it's an update, so which is returning takes a function, which it takes a function where in this function we are trying to get some data. So the first thing it returns a response. I guess you'll just be with me, like, so the first one is getting is cache, because you see we used the cache in our system. If you still remember us setting our Apollo client, we used caching over here. Where was it? Apollo you see we imported memory cache, so client uses cache. So that is why the first thing it will be returning is cache, and then the second thing it will be returning is response. But since response has data, if you can see our response all through, it has been having data over there, so we know that we can just access the data over there by doing that. So I hope you know JavaScript, guys, so because these things are really important. So and then we can just finally do our things with those the returned values. So it's not even that. So but this warning as of now is because we just made variables, or at least variables, and we are not using them. So we at least need to set this data, but instead of setting, let us just console.log for now, .log that. So let's log that. But since caching is the first argument and we use the data, so it knows that at least you can, if this thing you want to use the second argument, then the first argument obviously has to always exist. So that is it, guys. Let us go and test our application. So making a user, log in a user. Let me first open. So over here we'll maybe log in here, and then just try logging in. Don't update. So it logged the data that we got over there. So in view line 16, what is, maybe this did not run, so let us run. I think possibly it never refreshed. But even before that, you can see that our method is not allowed. So this will mean that we will have to set cause headers at least to allow requests from domains that we want. And in this case, let me do that very fast over here in settings. So first of all, you need to install cause django. This is bad thing. I'm rendering a very heavy video, which is almost 1 GB when I'm doing this. So obviously my system is being overused because I'm recording at the same time as rendering another one. So please, guys, I'm really sorry. I should not have done this time. So let me install cause header. So it's pip install. So I hope that is how we normally install cause headers, because but I think it's that one. Then you just need to add it over here, headers. So cause headers is there. So and then you need to set your application to allow some whitelisted applications or just allow all. So you need to do that. So first in your middleware, add the cause headers where your middleware add the cause headers middleware. So this, you need to do that, cause headers middleware. You can go check the documentation. So add the cause headers middleware, and then over somewhere down, or maybe just somewhere around here, add these. So cause headers allow all origins. You can set either to be true or false, because this is not basically, if you allow all, then it means anybody making request to your application will get the data back without an error. But if you are trying to limit to some domains, then say there are some other things like this, and then just over here list the domains you want to allow to make requests to your application. So that is one thing you need to do. And then I don't know if you still remember me telling you to add this CSRF exempt, because now we are making application from an application that is not sending CSRF token to Django. So at least you need to add that. If you've done that, then so Python manage.py migrate. So to install any migrations, if they are, I don't know if because it does ever really come with migrations, I don't think, but let us check out. And then finally Python manage.py run server. So okay, after the server has been started, so let's go here, try creating the same user. Now It's saying that I never defined them. Oh my goodness. So here is supposed to be mutation, guys. I'm really sorry. So here is not mutate, it's mute. Whatever that was, it's supposed to be a mutation. I hope you got it right and not be like me, because a mutation of an state is required. You have to refresh the whole page or something like that. Username, email, which I know is supposed to be email, and yet it's saying username, and then password to be that. Let's try now. Hopefully no errors. It posted and we got this, and then we have some errors over here. Database is locked because I tried doing the same query twice. So that is it, guys, about this registration. So the login page, login is implemented in the same way, and I will just show you that very fast. So have a nice time, and please don't forget to subscribe.